Hi guys, happy Friday and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I thought I would take the time and kind of give you a detailed insight about my overall nutrition habits and basically what's worked for me and what hasn't worked for me, since I've been getting a lot of questions and I have been bringing it up and not really talking about it. So today we're going to talk about fasting and basically my past lifestyle and now my current. So let's get into it. So I have some points here to try to keep my thoughts organized so I'm not going all over the place. But basically, as a kid, I was pretty overweight. However, I was really athletic. I played every single sport from 5 until 16, 17. And then from there, that's when I started really working out and getting into the whole bodybuilding industry. I started really dieting hardcore at 15 and competed at 16. So mind you, I'm hanging out with bodybuilders, and this is the first time in my whole life I'm finally starting to lose weight, because like I said, I was overweight as a child. And basically from there I competed. I did a lot of different type of fat burners at a young age. As I got a little bit older, around 18, I started to cycle Anavar, which is not really that good for you. And so I'm really messing up my metabolism and I'm really playing around with my insulin levels. Also, as a teenager, I was a very big yo-yo dieter. Even through high school, I would eat really clean. I would bring the 4-liter jug to school and people would literally make fun of me because I'm like in the halls, like chucking around this huge water bottle. So I was drinking lots of water, I was leaning out, but then I would, gain weight on the weekends. I would hit the gym hardcore and so on and so on. So that was a pretty aggressive style for about like 4 years, all through high school. But 19, now I'm training at Good Life, and so this year was a pretty big year for me. It was just a lot of growing up. It taught me a lot about business, and this is the year I just became super strong, because when you're in the gym for like 12 hours a day and you have breaks, all you do is work out. So at 19, I was really strong. I was eating a lot of food. I was eating like every 2 hours of healthy stuff. And on top of that, I was still eating a lot of crap. So right now I am about, I don't really weigh myself, but I'm probably about like 135 pounds at 5'6" and a half. And when I was 19, I was 160. So that's almost 30 pounds more than what I weigh right now. Definitely a lot was muscle, but there was a lot of fat there too. So I never really kind of talked about this on social media before, but my binge eating was really extreme, especially at 19, because I was pretty depressed. I would literally go in my car and I would drive to get frozen yogurt with all the toppings on it. I would go to McDonald's, to get their burgers. I would go to A&W to get their fries. And I would go home and I would eat in the dark. Yes, this is very emo of me. And I would just eat and eat and eat, and then I would sleep for like 3 hours, and then I would go back to Good Life. So I was doing that for for a year. And it was to the point that, I was really strong, but I was getting really overweight. My face was breaking out. I was drinking on the weekends. So that's basically when, after a year, I just decided to like move away. I needed to go not be depressed and figure my life out. From 16 to 21, I've done every single type of diet. I feel like I did the fad diets. I've done counting your macros. I've done carb loading. I've cut carbs out. I did high fats, high proteins. I've done the shake diets. I've done skinny teas. I did all the fat burners at GNC. I've cycled Anavar, and I kind of just from 16 to 21, I really abused my body. The only positive thing is that, I was eating, more vegetables than when I was as a child. And so when I finally decided, okay, I'm staying in Toronto, I have a job now, I'm making money, I'm not going anywhere. Basically, that's when I met Al, and Al and I have been together for almost 2 years now. Yeah, that's about right. And so basically when we met is when I was finally just starting to become stable, and I wasn't really dieting hardcore, but I became a lot more into a routine. So meal prepping more, eating a little bit better. But now kind of at this point, so I guess for about a year of our relationship, we were eating like pretty decent. However, we were still, eating out a couple times a week. We were still, like eating pizza on the weekends, eating junk food at night, just, like your typical when you first get into a relationship type of thing. And then it wasn't really until last year. I guess like pause. So when I moved to Toronto and Calgary, I did lose weight. I was at 160 in St. John, and then I became about like 145, 150 I'd hover around, and that was honestly just from like walking to point A to point B. Because back in St. John, I would just drive everywhere, so I wouldn't walk an hour to the mall and walk an hour back like you do in Toronto or in Calgary. Until about a year ago when Al started to try fasting, because we have very similar body types where if we eat a lot of unhealthy food or even just eat too much of food, we both gain weight. Al is also a personal trainer, and he's very strong, very athletic. Hope you like that. A big reason why I started fasting in September, it wasn't because necessarily I wanted to lose more weight. It's because my bunions on my feet, which I've talked about so many times, have gotten really extreme and caused me a lot of pain. And since I've left St. John, my workouts and strength have just decreased. Even though like my body is getting looking better, I'm just becoming really, really weak. And so I was like, well, I can't work out 12 times a week like I used to, or even 5 times a week like I used to. My body just physically right now just cannot handle that type of pressure. I cannot perform, and it is really depressing at times. And currently I'm not very motivated half of the time, because it's just, I gotta do the exercises that I just don't want to do. I'm gonna sit there and roll my feet out in the gym, or do my hand exercises or shoulder exercises when I want to be squatting, I want to be shoulder pressing, because I see those flashbacks when I was so young and how strong I used to be, and now I barely can lift 5 pounds. It's crazy. So anyways, with that being said, yeah, I can't perform, so I have to really watch my nutrition. And so I started fasting, and I started talking to you guys about that. So now currently, 7 months, the first 4 months of fasting, I actually started to eat more carbs, more breads, more sandwiches, more pizza, more all-you-can-eat sushi, because in my head I'm like, okay, I can fast for 24 hours, eat a pizza with Al, and then wake up the next morning and be super lean. I wanted to kind of touch base with you guys and let you know I've never, dieting and nutrition has never been easy for me. It's taken 8 years to figure this out, and to really, understand the body and trial and error. And now I'm even at a point where I'm looking really good and feeling really good, but now that my nutrition is starting to get really awesome and perfected, now my training in the gym is just starting to just fade away and crumble and make me really unmotivated. So if you're feeling really unmotivated, just remember it's taken me 8 years to finally start to perfect my nutrition. Some people, they get it right away. They follow the diet, they love it, they lose weight, they look phenomenal, they kill in the gym. They're the full package, but that's just not how it works for everybody. And if you are trying to lose weight or to figure it out, I highly suggest maybe sitting down with a personal trainer that you trust and that is really good and reliable. And I'm not saying even right now that I'm following 100%, all of these supplements I'm supposed to be taking and all these type of, you know, minerals I should be having. I'm basically just doing what I can handle at the moment. So it's baby steps. Like I said, 8 years, and now the last 7 months, you know, I started fasting. I got that in, and then I had to kind of start to add more salads and cut out less pizza. And now that I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I feel I need another change. Now I'm starting to, you know, use olive oil, for an example, on my salads instead of salad dressing. If you would have told me that last year, I would have been like, nope, I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to do it. I love salad dressing. It's just those little tiny things that can make the big difference, but you have to be ready to do it. And if you don't get it right the first time, it's totally okay. Like, you just have to not quit on yourself. That's so important. Like, you just have to keep going, even if you fail with it. Now for me, it's the whole fitness thing. If you are the type of person who's binge eating and you're not losing weight and you're killing yourself in the gym, working out 5 or 6 days a week, running on the Stairmaster for an hour. I used to do that, like, oh my God, I can't even believe that. For an hour, just running on a Stairmaster. I can't even walk on a Stairmaster now, like, that's crazy. But yeah, like, you have to perfect the nutrition side, and you're gonna feel a lot better. And then you don't have to kill yourself in the gym 6 days a week and overwork your body, and then eventually, you know, get older and have all these different type of problems, because that's not what you want. So I hope that's kind of helped you guys kind of understand a little bit about fasting. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments or send me a DM. I'm not sure if this video is going to be done yet. I might get Al in here, and I might even get Artie in here, or maybe I'll do Herc's Artie in a different video, because he's very, very smart, and he would probably love to talk to you guys and give you more like very scientific, doctor smart details, if that even makes sense. So do I have anything else to say? I don't weigh myself anymore. I throw to scale. I used to weigh myself like 3 times a day. I don't know my weight, probably like 135-ish. And yeah, I'm just cutting out carbs, maybe having like carbs maybe once a week. And oh, I guess another thing, when I was younger, when I used to carb cycle, when I did a period of carb cycling, I found that when I would go a day without carbs, I would be really tired and really like unfocused. And so I thought for years, like probably like 4 or 5 years, that my body needed carbs in order for me to go a whole day without getting tired. But honestly, now having such high fats and high proteins, I'm not even, like, my body is fine. Like, I've realized that I actually didn't really need the carbs. So I guess that's kind of another thing. Oh, and one more thing with the fasting, I guess, like hours I'll touch base on. So I said I fast for 16, sometimes 24 hours, but now I really listen to my body. If I'm starving at 12 hours, I'll eat something. But if I'm not hungry until 18 hours, then I'll eat something. So I kind of just listen to my body and how I'm feeling. There are definitely days where I'm starving at 16 hours. And then like yesterday, I had a huge salad, like humongous salad. And honestly, it kept me full for 24 hours. But mind you guys, I'm not training as much. I'm not going to the gym for 2 hours and burning like 500 to 1,000 calories. So that's kind of why I personally think I can go 24 hours fasted, because I'm not as active. Whereas, you know, my boyfriend, for example, he fasts as well, but he's starving at like 16, 17 hours because he'll work out for 3 or 4 hours and he'll burn like thousands and thousands of calories because he's lifting a whole bunch of weight. So again, every body type is different, and, you know, just listening to your body. And I highly recommend trying fasting. I think it's just been really phenomenal for me. And if you're scared about it, you don't have to fast for 16 hours. Start at 12 and work your way up. Like, once you're fine at 12 hours, then maybe try 13, 14. But if you can't get up to 16 hours, like, that's fine. I think 12 hours is pretty good, especially if you're working out and you're kind of watching your nutrition. I think those are all really good things for you to try. So that is just my little YouTube video. I'm sorry I talked so much, and I hope that you guys take something from this. And yeah, I guess if I don't get Alan here, I will see you later. And yeah, give it a thumbs up.